Hello, welcome to the Brain Scrub, a somewhat improvised approach to mental health. My name is Glenn Sollers. Thanks for tuning in today. And today I want to talk a bit about a book that I've been reading, and it was referred to me by a participant in a workshop. And I love when participants walked up to me and say, you know what, Glenn, this was a great course, and I have an amazing book that you should read, or I want to impart this knowledge on you. And this happened in this one workshop, and this guy told me, read this book called Little Voice Mastery: How to Win the War Between Your Ears. And it's a book about the inner voice and inner dialogue, and how do we battle that inner dialogue that we all have about ourselves. And a good metaphor it has in the book is around cartoon characters. And I forget who it was, but there are certain characters out there that would have a devil on one shoulder and an angel on the other shoulder, and the devil is kind of like your shadow self, the angry self, the one that dares you to do things that might be evil or hurt you and others, and the angel is the side that says, no, you know what? You're worth it. Treat everybody really kindly and respect people. Don't do it. And I have that voice that sometimes happens. And I've been talking to people about this. When I'm walking across a bridge over a gully or a deep river, and I look down and there's that little devil that says, Glenn, I wonder what it'd be like to just jump off the bridge. Not because I want to commit suicide, but just because our mind likes to play tricks on us sometimes and think, what would it be like if I just did that? Wow, it'd be kind of fun, but unfortunately it would end in tragedy. Thankfully, the angel wins out all the time in these situations. The other thing the book talks about, and there's many things, is the value that we bring into our life, kind of like our life purpose, our mission, what we're brought into this world to be, and how if we can live that, we're being our authentic selves. And if we're being our authentic selves, we don't have these little voices in our heads that could be voices that we might have learned from our mother, our father, our siblings, our peers, our friends, leaders we've worked with, you name it. A lot of these little voices in our head are not actually our little voices. They're little voices that have come from somebody else. That you're not good enough. You need to try harder. You need recognition. Watch what you're saying. And they're there for a reason, to protect us. And if we're living those voices, we may not be living what we truly are. And that is our value, what we bring to this world. This week, this concept, it's not just a concept, it's been something that I've worked on for a while. When I started my self-awareness work, I had to develop my own mission statement, and it started off with, I create a world. And if I were to just share it with you right now, this is essentially what it is. I would like to remaster it though, is I create a world where I build community based on authentic relationships and creating love connections between people, so we can all live a peaceful, happy, and rewarding life. We only live once, and my mission is to help people have the tools, the techniques, the self-awareness, so they can really connect with other people. And I was struggling this week around that. One thing that happened this week, for whatever reason, I wanted to meet a certain individual who I've never met before, and I contacted one of my friends and said, yes, I'd like to meet this individual, and they said, we'll try to make it happen. And I then found out later on that other people were meeting this individual, and I had this thing going on with, okay, well, am I not good enough? Why am I not being allowed to meet this person? That's what was going on in my head. I don't know. This was just that voice that's going on in my head. What's wrong with me? What have I done? Why am I not that important? And then I thought, why am I making this other person so important that I need to meet them? And that's ridiculous. Oh my gosh. In fact, People should want to meet me. And I'm not trying to sound arrogant here, but the value I bring to this world, the purpose that I bring, is a great one in my perspective. But sometimes I don't see my own value, and I feel that I need to have the recognition or visibility with others so that I feel valued. And this book gets into that's not the right way to do things. If people don't value you, if they don't see you, if they don't embrace you, if they don't love you for who you really are they worth it to have it in your life? And probably not, because there's so many others out there. And interestingly enough, there was a gentleman who I got to know a number of years ago through a self-awareness and coaching development program. And he and I have similar histories, but we hit it off. Oh my gosh, I've never met him in person. I love this guy. He and I can talk about anything. We support each other. And for the last 6 months, I haven't heard anything from him. And I thought, okay, what happened? What did I do? I was trying to reach out. And this is the type of thing that I do at times, is I will be persistent to try to make things happen and establish connection. And I have to learn to step back, because then I'm pushing me onto other people, which is unhealthy. But he contacted me today and said, you know what, Glenn, I've been so busy. I haven't had a chance to reach out. I want to reconnect with you. I really value our friendship. And it made my day, because this is the type of person that I want in my life, that he and I both see our powers in each other. We both see the value that we bring to each other, and we want each other in our lives. It was fantastic. To know our value, to know what we bring, to know our purpose, to know our mission in life is a critical first step. What is it you want to give this world? What is it you want to give others? So that you're not fazed by people that may say something against you, or maybe they're complaining about you, or maybe they are upset with you. And it's important to resolve upsets and things like that. But if I can stand in who I am and be confident in who I am in a respectful way and in a non-egotistical way, and if I can really understand my value, then that kind of stuff shouldn't faze me, because I'm at the core of me. And if I can be my authentic self, I will bring more people in to me versus leaving people behind because of my own judgments and opinions of their actions, or their judgments and opinions of my actions, and not rectifying the situation. And this is called partially passive aggressiveness. And I also experienced that this week, where I was talking to an individual and they shared with me their opinion of another person in the family, and this was a family member, and I had to walk away, because this person will complain about other people and they don't see themselves in this whole thing that they're doing. And I just had enough, and I kind of walked away. Why do I share that? Because if you don't see your value, it might be easier for you to devalue others. But if I value myself, then why would I want to devalue others? There's no need to. I can actually instead look at others and say, you know what, that person's a great individual. They're doing the best they can. They have certain circumstances they're dealing with, but none of us are perfect. We all have our faults. We all have our gifts. So to actually write down those things that are your true gifts, and I'll just role model this, and hopefully you can follow along. Like, what are your strengths? What are those gifts? For me, my authentic gifts are I deeply care, so much so that I will be persistent in showing care. And I get there's a consequence of that. My gift is the gift of community, building community, leading different efforts to get people to do certain things so we can all have fun. So I have led mountain biking groups This is the kind of stuff I love doing. I love leading by example. I love encouraging people to come in, to connect, to have fun. I notice now I also am gifted with the gift of laughter. I don't like my laugh, and I find it's very loud at times, but I laugh, and I can give myself permission to laugh and to joke around and to maybe say what's a bit edgy, but at the same time, I am just allowing other people to be a bit edgy, and that's okay. Sometimes we want to say stuff, but we're very reserved. And again, we have to be mindful of our words, but it's nice to just be open and authentic from a healthy perspective out there. The other gifts I bring: lots of love, a sense of adventure, a sense of let's take a calculated risk and try something out. I was with my nephew this weekend from Ontario, and he is an 8-year-old authentic being who I just adore because he will say what's on his mind. He has so much adventure within him. Like, we did this hike up this mountain, and then we went to this waterfall place called Nymph Falls, which is an amazing place. If you've never been to it, in Comox, Vancouver Island, British Columbia, go to it. It is one of the most beautiful water holes I've ever been to. And I convinced him to go in the water, and I had to convince his mom as well, because I care deeply about this kid, and I knew I was going to make sure he was safe. It was a fast-flowing river, but I help inspire others to try things out. And he had such an incredible time doing this. That's another gift I bring. Another gift is the gift of family and friends, and ensuring that people are happy around me, trying hard, supporting others. And these are gifts I really embrace. Now, if I look at the gifts I bring, I can then start looking at the value I bring. I bring the value of authenticity, of true connections, the value of integrity, where I'll speak my truth to people. I will not hide the truth. If I have a challenge with somebody else, I will talk to people, get support on that so I can resolve differences. But I don't lie to people. I don't twist things around so that I may be out of integrity with somebody. I'll just let somebody know the way it is. So the value I bring is connection, love, and camaraderie, and to live before you die, to try things out. If I can come from that place, I am better able to be with somebody and lead with who I am, not who I'm trying to be. There's this world, and I've talked ad nauseum about this, of comparison. That so-and-so's doing this, so-and-so's doing that, that I need to make so much money to retire, that I need this, that I need that. And there's this world out there that we may be trying to embrace and go after, but then the present time is never good enough. What's happening right now may not be good enough because we're in the pursuit of something else that may not be realistic for us. So if I can look at my value, if I can look at my purpose, if I can create my own vision statement of where I see my future, I can live into that and not have to worry about comparing what are other people doing, because I'm good enough. And if I can live that, I can not try to act differently in front of people. I will not put up a facade based on who I am, which I have great experience in doing. I used to put up a facade all the time to try to fit in, and I still do it at times, and I'm managing it more effectively. But when I notice I have a facade, I start breathing, I drop out of my head, I get into my heart, and I say, what would my heart do in this moment? The message I have for you today is, if you want to manage the voice in your head, and know that we all have a voice in our head, this inner dialogue, step into who you are, lead with your values, lead with integrity, be open and honest with people, resolve differences, don't complain about others, seek to understand others, so that when we're with other people, we are not trying to fit in or second guess ourselves or be needy, because I can be very needy. And I noticed that this week with these situations, I learned a lot from it, because I thought, why on earth am I pushing for this? Why on earth do I need this? It's not going to make any difference in my life if I get what I want. It would not make any difference. And there's people I need to focus in on that are true gifts in my life. My family members, my close friends, these are people that are important to me. But to have these needs and desires that will, in the long run, not serve me and just provide immediate gratification, why do I need them? They do not align with my purpose. Folks, lead with your heart. Thanks for listening.